let's get with this mantra. We'll start it off. I love this one. It comes from the famous poet Rumi. You probably have heard me say a quote from Rumi before. And this one is just a great way, since we've been away from our routine, our yoga routine for our online community. This one says, set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Now, by chance, if you're feeling lonely, if you're going through a rough patch in life, take a look around and look at these smiling faces online. Whether you're taking this as a recording or whether you're taking this online live right now, I want you to know that there's people out there in your situation going through it. And we want to seek those who fan our flames, and whatever the purpose, whatever the is that drives you in life, let those you spend your time with fan your flames. And that's going to help you to set your life on fire, whatever that may look like. All right, let's do this. We're actually going to start seated on a yoga block this morning. So if you have a yoga block, grab it. If you don't, you could always use a pillow from the couch or something that you have at home. No need to stress about the details. And I'm going to ask you to sit in good old Sukhasana. So I have my yoga block on the lowest setting, and I'm just going to allow my knees, which for me often are filled with tightness, so they're up. So I'm going to ask you to just relax your knees down. And here we go, friends. We are just going to settle right in on comfortably on your yoga block. And we're just going to let gravity take over. So be playful, adjust your block, let your knees slowly drift down toward the earth. Doesn't matter what it looks like, just as long as you find an opportunity to feel soft through the low body. And then feel that imaginary string pulling the crown of the head tall, nice long spine, draw your navel in. And then from here, slowly close the eyes or soft gaze toward the earth. And then as you start to cultivate the Ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just start to soften. Just letting go of any events that have already occurred, letting go of thoughts of the future, and just settling in. Just allowing yourself to find stillness, sit at ease, yet the body is alert. And you might start to notice the mind will drift, and that is very, very common. So as you notice, just bring yourself back to this moment, this breath, right here, right now. And finding your longest spine. On your inhale, simply shrug the shoulders to your ears. Exhale through the nose, relax your shoulders down. We'll do a few more of those. Inhale, shrug. And then taking your time as you breathe in and as you breathe out, exhaling as they lower. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you lower, shoulders down, away from the ears. And again, inhale, shrug. And exhale, releasing the shoulders down, far from the ears. Now stay extra tall on this inhalation. Allow your right fingertips to come down onto the mat, out to this side. And then we're just gonna simply take our left arm up, reaching all the way up to the ceiling. So I want you to press equally in through the right fingertips and energetically lift through the left fingertips. Good. Now inhale, use your oblique to lift your right fingertips up to meet the left. And then exhale, left fingertips are going to come down just the fingertips to that side and then reach. So I want you to think of coming out of your shoulder girdle. You are going to feel a lengthening through the right waist. We'll eventually get into those side lateral bends. Good. Inhale, left fingertips come up. And then right fingertips down, a little more weight into the right fingertips. Now reach over to your right wall. Very nice. Continue to press your knees down. Just feel a nice opening through the side of the body. And then inhale, come back up to center. And then exhale your left fingertips down, and then your right hand reaches over to your left wall. Very nice. Come back to center. Let your hands come back to the legs. And again, inhale, shrug your shoulders. Exhale, release. Good. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Very nice, friends. Now a simple twist as you inhale. Just turn your torso. So this region of the body, just turn your heart to face the right wall. Your left hand will connect to the right leg, your right fingertips either to the mat behind or just coming in contact with the sacrum. Stay tall, stay aware of the breath. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, simply twisting left. So whatever it looks like for your body is exactly where you need to be today. We're not worried today about perfection in the shape, the expectations. We're going to let all that go and just feel into our bodies. Come back to center. And then a simple change of the legs. So unravel the legs and then crisscross applesauce, or sukhasana, as we say in Sanskrit, the opposite direction. So for most of us, this will be the unnatural way. So working hard to feel grounded, rooted through the foundation of the body, and then lifting through the crown of the head. Very nice. Now on your next inhalation, your right arm is going to come up and over. This time, if you can, your left hand is flat on the earth. So going just a little bit deeper into our lateral bends. Try to make sure you're not leaning too far forward or too far back. So really stacking the weight into your left palm. Good. Inhale, come back up through center. And then right hand comes down nice and solid into the earth. And then reaching over toward your right wall, pressing your knees down, breathing into the left oblique. We're going to go one more time. Inhale up through center. Left hand comes down, right arm overhead. Bring your bicep near your ear. And even feel free to bend through the right elbow. Again, we're not looking for perfection in lengthening of the arm, rather in lengthening of the right oblique. Good. Inhale as you come up through center. Feel the lengthening through both sides of the waist. And then right hand down, left arm reaches over. Good. See if you can come past the midline. Very nice. Take one more breath here. Wonderful. Inhale, right hand reaches up to meet the left. Let your palms meet at the center. And then exhale, release your hands down, fingertips on the mat or palms flat. I want you to come into a nice back bend here. So you might even walk your hands further away from the block and then gazing to the ceiling. Stretch your breath, lengthen your throat. Feel a nice lengthening through the abdominals. Good, friends. And then slowly come all the way back up. And then we are going to remove that block. You can set that block off to the side. You may see me request it later. And we're just going to come right into down dog. Now, if down dog isn't in your practice today, then simply come to tabletop or even onto the forearms, just depending on what your body needs today. For those of us coming into down dog, we're creating that upside down letter V shape. And we're just going to walk our dog. So we're spending some time checking out the hands about shoulder distance. The feet are about hips width. And really working into the back body. Not only do I want your heels heavy to the mat, but I also want you to pay attention as you grip the mat with all 10 fingertips, distributing the weight, and then take a moment to press your belly back a little closer to the legs. Good. And then inhale, lower your knees to the mat as we come into tabletop or any variation that works for you. Inhale, lower your belly, arch your spine, pull the mat toward your knees with your hands, and then encourage your heart through the biceps. And then exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest, press the mat away from you. broadening your upper back, feeling that lengthening sensation through the cervical spine. Inhale, come right back into cow shape. We are still warming up our body, so you determine how deep you want to go in these postures. Exhale as you round into cat. And then inhale once again as you pull your hands toward the knees. Make sure you're activating your fingertips as well. And exhale through the nose, rounding into cat shape. Very nice, friends. Come back to a neutral spine. And then externally rotate your fingertips to face your knees, thumbs facing the outer edges. Good old wrist extensions. You can even tuck your toes here. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale your heart toward the back of your mat. Inhaling and exhaling. So this is to awaken, anyone that out there that does weight training. This is awakening the muscles of the forearms, the wrists, the elbows, the biceps, all connected. And this is just a way to energize, improve circulation in this region. If you have a wrist injury or any type of medical condition, don't need to do this one. That's fine with me. You can always be standing or even kneeling, and you could do this horizontally or vertically, rather. I meant to say vertically. I was thinking horizontally. See how our brain works a little quicker than our tongue, right? And anyway, vertically against the wall takes gravity out of this, and it's a lot less intense. Perfect. Try and sit to your heels real quick. Squeeze an imaginary dollar bill between your knees and just engage your inner thighs. So squeezing the legs together, rest your hands. You can even just take a few moments to just trace the outline of the legs. This always feels so good. I don't know what is up with me today, but I'm freezing cold. My hands are like ice cubes. So this is something I use in the winter. I don't even want to think about winter coming. I know it's fall, but I'm still holding on to these last, 10 days of summer officially before the autumnal equinox. All right, friends, let's shake out the wrists and then let's come back into tabletop. And then inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, send your sit bones to the sky as you come back into down dog. Good. Now we warmed up the wrists just a bit. We've walked our dog. Go ahead and do that one more round, bending one knee at a time, sending the opposite heel to the mat. So we're just awakening the calves, the hamstrings, the ankles, the shoulders. And then from here, simply walk your feet up to your hands. So you're coming toward the front of your yoga mat. Keep a nice bend in your knees and then catch opposite elbows for ragdoll. And this is where you can start to sway slowly from side to side. Draw your navel in. And really think of your body in two halves, hinging at the hips. And then you could work your legs, if you feel ready, towards a more straighter stature. And if not, that's okay. Keep your knees bent if you prefer. Maybe you've already done a workout. Maybe this is just what I like to call the salt and pepper of your movement today. And if so, if you're already warmed up, feel free to even transfer your weight a little bit more toward the toes and balls of the feet than the heels. Slowly come to center, release your arms, bend your knees again, hands to the hips, and inhale to rise. Come all the way up, nice flat back, engaging your glutes and back body. Very nice, friends. Find Tadasana. Fix your makeup, your hair, your outfit. Do what you need to do. We all have adjustments that need to be made. And let's just start to rock forward and back. So inhale, lifting the heels, maybe coming onto the balls of the feet. Exhaling back, lift the toes. So transferring the weight from the front of the feet to the back. Just check in with your balance today. This is always another great one to do first thing in the morning, maybe even as soon as your feet hit the ground, just checking in with your balance. Always a great way to welcome the day. Now, on your next inhalation, come back to a neutral displacement of the weight, and then inhale, circle your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Now engage your abdominals. Start to move nice and slow here. The slower you can move, the more you're going to feel the front and back body engaging. And then inhale, Ardha, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen your spine, and then exhale back to Uttanasana, forward fold, and inhale to rise. So just engaging the back body, engaging the front of the body, and then exhale. Slowly bring your palms to Anjali Mudra at your heart. Good. We'll do another one of those. Inhale. Circle your arms. Reach for the back wall. Very often, friends, we just move. We're on autopilot. So really focus. Exhale, hinging forward. See how slowly you could breathe and move and really feel the quads, feel the hamstrings, glutes, and all the tendons and bones connected. Inhale, Ardha, lengthen the spine, engage your core here. Exhale, back to Uttanasana, still moving slow. Inhale to rise. Oh yeah, I'm feeling that back body. We're clearing out all cobwebs today. As you exhale through the nose, palms come back to heart center. Very nicely done. Checking in with our balance. Inhale, step on the left foot. Inhale, right knee hip height, Urdhva Hastasana. Good. Exhale, lower that foot back down, arms to your sides, come to Tadasana, still moving a little slower than maybe what we're used to. Inhale, lifting left knee. Urdhva Hastasana, lifting the arms, reach through your ring fingers. Exhale, back to Tadasana. Very nice, checking in with the balance. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, right side. See if now you can look to your thumbs as you stand on one foot. Just checking in with your balance. Exhale, right foot down. Gaze returns forward, and then inhale, lift your left knee hip height. Beautiful. Can you look up to your thumbs? Can you breathe while doing that? Exhale, left foot down. No one's out there allowed to fall for me. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to challenge you again. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, right knee lifts. Can you look up? Keep breathing. Can you then close your eyes? Keep breathing. Hold for a breath. Exhale, eyes open, come all the way down. I got some of you out there. I see it. Inhale, other side, left knee lifts. Remember, we're building on. Maybe today is the day to close one eye. Close the eyes if you can. Hold for the breath. And exhale, slowly lower down. Very nice, friends. Good job. I still love you. There's no shame in our game. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. We're going to take it to a full vinyasa. So don't let me trick you. Exhale, nice and slow. Heart is open. Come into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Engage your glutes, your abdominals. Exhale, palms stack under the shoulders. Step back to plank pose. Now you can go right to down dog or exhale through chaturanga. I'm going to lower my knees this first one. Inhale, cobra shape. Oh boy, does that one feel good. And then exhale, come right back into down dog. Beautiful, friends. Inhale, lift your right heel high. And then open your hips to the right. So stack your right hip over the left. Exhale, bend through your knee, bring your heel toward your sit bones, and then press the mat away from you. Take your belly just a little closer to the left thigh. Breathing, continue to lift the right knee up and back. You'll feel a nice lengthening through the right side of the body. Inhale, three-legged dog, even out your hips. Exhale, right foot meets left. The left heel high. Exhale, open up your hips to the left side, and then bend your left knee. Press your mat away from you, belly toward the right thigh, right heel heavy onto the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot meets right. This time, walk your hands back to your feet. Oh, friends, you got this. Come into ragdoll, catch opposite elbows. And once you do that, switch the grip. So same idea as the first round, but now we're holding the opposite or our unnatural way. Start your swaying motions. You could even open and close the mouth, like yawning motions. How about some yes and no motions with your head and neck? Any of these options are there for you so that you can slowly but surely release and let tension melt away. Sometimes we don't even realize We're holding our breath. We're clenching our jaw. Our shoulders are crowding the ears, and very typical of a human being. Last I checked, everybody that checked in for class today was of that same species. So just checking in to make sure. Tell your dog next to you to relax, your cat, the person, if anybody, stuffed animals, dust bunnies, whatever. Release your arms, my friends. Inhale, Arda, halfway lift, slide your hands up your shins. And now send your shoulders down the back. Get another inch longer through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Use your back body muscles, that posterior chain, and inhale to rise nice and tall. Arms will come up, reach through the ring fingers. Exhale through the nose, palms to heart center. Very nice. Really nice job. Come to stand at the center of your mat. Now we're going to check in with balance. So those of you that use a wall or chair or piece of furniture, now might be a great time to cue that support to be ready to assist if needed. Now we're going to start standing on the left leg today. On your inhalation, we're going to come into Urdhva Hastasana. So we've done this already. Eyes can stay open here. Exhale, take your right knee out to the side. Cactus shape your arms, or shall I say goalpost the arms. It is now football season. Inhale, come all the way back up center, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, airplane your arms right into warrior three. So your right foot, like you're going to stamp it on the wall behind you, parallel from head to heel. Inhale back to Urdhva Hastasana, all on that left leg. And then exhale back to Tadasana. Very nice. We're working slow and we're feeling the breath. Let the breath cleanse all the gook that's inside of us, maybe from the past, maybe from yesterday. On your inhalation, left knee lifts, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, goalpost your arms, send your left knee out to the side, creating those 90-degree angles. Beautiful shape. And then inhale back to Urdhva. And then exhale nice and slow. Left foot reaches back. Airplane arms, warrior three, hips stay nice and even. Beautiful job. Now don't take it too seriously. Smile. It's going to be all right. Inhale back up to Urdhva. Really working the core, staying even. And exhale. Standing into Tadasana. Very nice, friends. Let's take our feet wide. Let's take our hands to our hips. And then just roll those hips out. Nice big rotations. If you notice you're feeling a little extra tightness, resistance, tension, did you know that can sometimes come with change of seasons? I know, weather related, so weird, right? And I don't know if you all get the change of seasons where you live. I know some of you do on here, but you know, it's just the transition time, and it's okay. It could be a transition of seasons of our life, you know, a new chapter, as they call it. So give yourself grace. Go ahead and change directions. Remember, we want to let go today of those expectations. And oh, do I come with mine? Easier said than done. Sometimes we know that word surrender. That area of our yoga practice can be the most challenging. All right, keeping your feet wide on the mat. We're going to come back to center. Hands are going to stay on your hips, and watch my arms here. I'm going to simply go, whoop. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together, and then keep that level of activity. Feel a lifting through the heart. Squeeze your glutes and shift your hips forward. So I'm going to show you that from the side. So in case you'd like to start over and then squeeze, and then look at this. I'm coming into a back bend. The hands are on the sacral region or the back of my hips, and I'm just looking at the ceiling, just feeling that lengthening through the front body. Keep breathing, and then keep your glutes engaged. Slowly come back up just to stand upright. You could return your hands to the sides of your hips. Very nice. Your left hand is going to come straight down the left thigh. I want you to reach your right arm up and over to the side of your space. Good. Don't worry about how deep you go. Just worry about the breath. Breathe slow, breathe deep. Good. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, relax. Soften everything. Stay soft. Inhale and exhale, letting go of tension. Inhale, slide your right hand down your thigh. Bring your left arm up and over. Now remember, we don't need perfection. Do you feel it? Can you engage your body more? That's what we're looking for here. Just clearing out the cobwebs. Inhale, back up to neutral. Exhale your left hand down. 2 cleansing breaths here, just breathing. Inhale, breathe in, stay soft. Breathe out. Maybe it's a deep sigh, maybe it's Ujjayi breath. One more, inhale and exhale. Just feel any tension leaving the body. Remember where we started. Here we go. Hands to hips. Exhale, slide your shoulder blades together. Squeeze, your hands will come toward the back of the pelvis. And then continue your Ujjayi breath. Shift your hips forward, really squeeze the glutes. Lift your heart to the sky. Feel the lengthening, and then eventually engage and send your drishti to the ceiling. Maybe this time, sending your hips just a little more forward to find where the wall meets ceiling behind you. Love it. It looks amazing. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, let it all go. Very nicely done. So we're just working out the kinks, working out the tension. We're coming back to our balance in a moment. Keep your feet the width of your mat. You'll see why in just a moment. Hands are going to come to hips again. I'm just going to remind you to relax your shoulders. So we're going to come into tree pose, but I'm going to challenge you. If you're using a wall or using a piece of furniture for balance assistance, make sure it's on the right-hand side of where you are. Here's where we're headed. Inhale, step right into tree pose. So I want you to come from the side. So from a wide stance, inhale. Good. Exhale, wide stance. Inhale, second side. Good. Inhale and exhale. So you see where we're headed with this. Inhale, wide stance, and exhale. See, and I even fell. It's okay. Inhaling and exhale. Now, we are used to coming into tree pose in a very systematic way. So today we're just changing it up. We're coming in and the breeze is coming from the left or the breeze is coming from the right. And we're just going to check in. Now, if you're feeling comfortable, you can keep the legs as they are. I'm just going to ask you to engage your branches. Now, if that doesn't work today, then maybe hands will stay on hips or hands to chair, or you could just pray that this is almost over. Just depending on where you're at today, friends. Anjali Mudra is always good for that. Now we have 4 to go. So I'm not counting. I just want you to step 4 more times, 4 more trees, and wherever you land, whatever foot, hold that tree pose. And that's your 4th one. Very nice. So some of you might be on the right foot, some of you might be on the left, doesn't matter. Step over 1 more time, hold this tree pose. And there we are, challenging our balance in new ways. Exhale back to your wide stance, hands to hips, other direction as you rotate your hips. So again, friends, just a reminder, it's always fun to challenge your balance. That doesn't only mean standing on one foot, right? It can mean approaching differently. It can mean changing the breath in order to create balance. So balance can be approached from many, many directions. Very nicely done. All right, now we're going to use the wall. So if you have a wall, I know some of you have stairs near you. If you have a wall that you can use, this would be perfect. And I'm going to ask you to bring your right shoulder to face the wall. So you're facing the direction in your house where the wall is on your right side. Now, and I'm going to come close to the screen to show you. You're going to bring your arm behind you with, notice my palm is facing up, and this area is going to be along the wall. So I'm going to take my hand to the wall, my right hand, reach it back, shoulder height, pinky finger side of the hand along the wall, palm facing up. Perfect. Straighten your arm out if you can, and then you'll press your right shoulder just a little closer toward the stairs or to the wall, the doorway, whatever you're using, and you're going to feel a nice stretch through the right chest. Keep breathing and notice where you can soften. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, just getting a nice stretch through the chest. I mentioned the wall earlier. This is a great tool to use if you're short on time and you need to stretch. This is a great way at the start or at the finish of a yoga practice. or just a regular workout. Release your right arm down. Take a moment, shoulder rolls. You can release yourself from the wall. We're going to do the same thing left side. So you're either just going to turn so that your left shoulder is to the wall, or if you're like me, I'm going to use a different wall so my back isn't to you. All right, when you're ready, you're going to place your left pinky finger edge along the wall, palm facing up, and you're going to then press your left shoulder a little closer to the wall. You decide how deep you go. Now you're going to feel resistance. That's very natural. One side is going to likely be more resistant than another. Soften your jaw. Some of you might even want to close your eyes. Yawning motions with the jaw. Good. If you want to go even deeper, you can take your right ear to right shoulder. You might even get a little deeper of an experience. Some people welcome that, some bodies, and not so much. So just work with what feels good. 2 more breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then when you're done, just slowly move away from the wall. Let your arm come to your side. Really, really nicely done. Shake out those arms, roll the shoulders. And we're going to come back to a little more traditional approach to balance. Aren't you excited? Yes, you are. So if you're doing your support of the wall might be on the right side. Okay, standing on the left foot once again, Tadasana arms. Inhale, cross your right ankle over or above the left knee. So figure 4. Palms in Tadasana, fingers spread nice and wide. Now you can stay here, and this is fine with me. Otherwise, as you find your next breath, sitting into chair variation, let your palms sweep up to the sky. Flex your right foot. That's going to protect your knee. Now, if you have a chair, maybe you're sitting in it. It's lower than your camera is showing me. You're looking very sturdy. That's okay. Now, from here, we're going to stand back up, lift just like we did in tree, and then come back out to that side variation of Urdhva Hastasana. Bring it center. Good. Now, look up to your ceiling. Keep breathing. Close both eyes or one eye. Just holding for a breath. Open your eyes and then release back down. Very nicely done. So again, familiar moves, maybe a new variation. We'll try that on our second side. Standing on the right foot, nice and tall. Engage your abdominals. Inhale, left ankle above the right knee. Take some time to set it up. Try to not use the arms to help place. This will really engage the lower body. Palms open. As you find your next breath, sitting into Utkatasana variation, sweep your arms up to the sky. Good, and take your time. If that's not working, remember, Anjali Mudra, always an option. Good, inhale, come back to stand tall. Think about branches on your tree. And then inhale, coming into that side variation of Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale back to center. Can you look up to the ceiling? Can you smile? Can you close your eyes? Keep breathing. Open your eyes and exhale down. Very nicely done, friends. See how balance can evolve and change. Big toes to touch. Shake it out, relax. Palms to heart center. Now this one also can be done with blocks. Excuse me, the wall, or blocks can come right here in front of you. Stand really close to your blocks if you're using them. Now on your next inhalation, big toes to touch, palms at heart center. Inhale, lift your heels. Now as you exhale, squeeze your ankles, your legs together, and then come all the way down to bring your sit bones to your heels. At some point, you might find the blocks right here under your shoulders super helpful. And I'm demoing with blocks. No shame in your game. Otherwise, you want to keep your back against that imaginary wall behind you. Inhale, squeeze your inner ankles together. Your inner thighs come all the way up. We're still on the balls of the feet. Breathing, breathing. One more time. Exhale, lower. Come down either halfway or all the way. Hands to blocks is an option. Beautiful job. Inhale up and exhale, heels down and relax. Woo, friends, great job today. That was quite the balance challenge and you did it. You did amazing. Very, very nice work. Breathe. I almost had to tell myself that. I had to say that not just for you, but for myself. Come back to your natural breath, find Tadasana. And I'm going to encourage you to close the eyes here. You can bring your big toes to touch. We're going to engage the core, the upper body one more time, but just for this moment. Just breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Just come back to your center. Just checking in with your body. Can you soften into meeting yourself where you're at today? Just letting what is be, and just sitting with it, moving with it. As we know, circumstances change, seasons transition, and so does our balance, our breath, and our movement. Blink your eyes to open, catch opposite elbow. Squeeze your legs together as one. Channel your inner mermaid or merman. Bringing your elbows overhead, press your forearms back. Feel the stretch through the triceps and underarms. Squeeze the legs together, get a little taller, and then exhale over to the right side. As you reach right, you're going to stretch your left oblique. Good. Now inhale through center. Feel the lengthening through both sides of the waist. And then exhale over to your left side, stretching your right oblique. This is some juicy work, friends. Inhale up and center. Exhale through the nose, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale through our final side. Very nice. Good. Inhale up through center. And exhale. Release your arms. Come back to your natural breath. And friends, let's draw some circles with the elbows. So just a nice way to release. You can even shake out the legs. There's no right or wrong way to do this one. Just notice what it feels like to be in the midst of our yoga practice and to just soften, to let go of all the rules. Just do what feels good for your body. Really, really nicely done. Excellent. Now, if you have your blocks, would you bring them so that they're going to be on the lowest setting? And if you were to get into hands and knees or tabletop pose, this is where they would be, right underneath your palms and right underneath your shoulders. We're going to get to those in just a moment. We're going to come back up to standing. And if you've never done down dog with the blocks, give it a try. It gives your shoulders a different experience. So you're going to come back to the center of your mat. Blocks are toward the front of your mat. On your inhalation, circle your arms nice and tall. And then exhale nice and slow. So we're staying with that steady theme today. Feel the muscles of the body. Uttanasana, and then inhale, Ardha. Good. Now exhale, hands to your blocks, and then step back into plank pose. So again, you're in plank pose, but you're on blocks. Hands are on blocks, that is. Good. Nice, steady through the arms. And then from here, we're just going to challenge our core. Bring your left knee to the right elbow. So you're crossing the midline, working the core, and then step back, find plank. And then inhale, right knee will tap left elbow, just working toward that left side. And back, we'll do one more on each side. Inhale, left knee to right elbow and plank. Last breath here, right to left and back. And then exhale, come right to down dog. Back to plank pose. Low chaturanga. So I'm going to bring my knees down and then lower down about halfway and then inhale right into, I like up dog, but you can keep your knees down. Oh, this is a great way. Can you bring your hip points just a little closer to the blocks? And do you feel the front stretch of the body? Exhale, knees down nice and wide. It's a child's pose. Let your hands stay on the blocks. Let your forehead connect to the mat. You'll get a deeper stretch through the shoulders. A really nice way. And you could even see I am actually just lowering one underarm at a time toward the mat. Keeping my hands on the blocks, friends, this is just a nice way to, it's like adding a WD-40, right, to a squeaky hinge on a door. Squeaky, squeak. I always find myself thinking about that noise as I do this movement, and it just feels really nice. All right, inhale, come right back up onto the hands and knees or tabletop pose. I'm gonna keep my blocks on the lowest setting, and I'm gonna move them to the front third of my mat. So not all the way to the front, but to the front third. And then from here, I'm just gonna ask you to step your right foot forward between the blocks. So come into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. There you go. Left hand is gonna stay on the block, and then you're just gonna twist to the right. Right hand will come up. Good. And then exhale, wrap your hands to your sacrum, or your left hand can, or your right hand rather, can come to your left hip. Look over your right shoulder and then breathe as you twist, but hug your right knee into the midline. Very often we start to relax into that front leg. So energize that glute stretch by hugging your right knee to the midline. Really nicely done. Good. Exhale, right hand back to the block. Tuck your back toes. Step back into plank pose. Oh, yeah. Now you can exhale to dog or come right through chaturanga. I'm lowering my knees. It's that kind of day for me. And then inhale, find either up dog or cobra. Take an extra breath to encourage your hip points toward the blocks. And then exhale right back into down dog. So good, friends. And then inhale, lift your left heel to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot between the blocks. Your right knee will come down. Again, Anjaneyasana. You can untuck your toes. Right hand stays on the block. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Good. Hug your left knee to the midline as you wrap behind. Take this time. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, deepen your twist. See if you can find the wall behind you as you look over your left shoulder. Beautiful. Exhale, unravel from your twist. Hands to blocks. Tuck your back toes and inhale, step back into down dog. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, find plank. Now you can exhale right back to dog or through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Let your knees come to the mat, nice and wide. Exhale, back to child's pose. Hands on blocks. And you can do that little rotation if you'd like. It really helps to get into the shoulders, the underarms. And then slowly release your elbows to the knees. Your hands will leave the blocks momentarily. Take a few moments to settle in. Remember, child's pose is evidently a resting pose, but it's also a pose that we can come to dive deep within, locating solutions from the transfer of vibration from the earth beneath you through your wisdom chakra. Very nice. And then slowly just coming up. And then we're just going to bring our legs around. And we're going to keep our blocks nearby and handy. We'll come to some seated postures. The blocks will be there if you desire to use them. I'll talk you through them. We're going to come into Janu Shirshasana A. So extend your left leg long, bending the right knee. So think tree pose with the right leg, and then you could place the block under the right knee as I'm demoing here. I like it on the lowest setting. If you don't want it at all, you could also just push it aside. That's also fine. Inhale, nice and tall. Stay long, and then as you exhale, friends, hinge forward. So you're hinging over that extended left leg. Now remember, as you use one block perhaps under the knee, you can also use that second block to either just rest your hands on or beyond your left foot to reach a little further. So I'm demoing that one as well. These are options. Remember, it's not anything to strive for. It's just an option. And I've taken that block away. So you can just see my back is nice and flat. My gaze stays forward. Really important to keep our energy centers open. Take one more inhale of length. One more exhale to hinge maybe a little deeper into the posture. Good. And then slowly come all the way up. Nice tall spine. Remove the blocks away from the body. Keep the legs as they are. Your right hand is going to reach behind. Point your left toes. And then draw a big rainbow with your left hand. Press through the right shin, left heel, and right hand. And reach for the wall behind you. This is a great stretch to create beauty of shape, but also how about that lengthening through the front body? So good. And then exhale, come right back down to where we started. So good to open the body, friends. Extend the legs, shake it out. Continue to breathe our Ujjayi breath during these transition times. Always a great option to explore. And then when you're ready, set up Janu Shirshasana on the second side. I'll demo with the blocks. I won't be talking through all of them. And remember, everything is optional. So sitting up nice and tall as you feel ready, inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, hinge forward. So you can take the block with you, reach beyond the right foot, or you can just come to where you're comfortable. I used to use both blocks such as this and use it to almost pull the blocks toward my body. It gave me a lot of support. So a lot of options there. Find what works best for your body today. Notice that keyword, today, as we know. Our practice, our asanas are forever changing, even by the hour. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge a little deeper. Keep your drishti forward. Energy centers open and unlocked. One more inhale. One more exhale. Wonderful, friends. Inhale, come all the way up. Remove blocks if you have them there. Left hand will come behind for support. Point your right toes, and as you're ready, inhale, press through your heel, left shin, and left hand. Really engage your glutes. Press your hips up to the ceiling and feel the lengthening. So beautiful. And then exhale, come all the way back down. Oh, yeah. And extend, hands behind, belly soft. Windshield wiper the toes. Let's circle the ankles, both directions. And then just really breathing into the low body. We did a lot today, friends. We did a lot with our balance. And as you know, sometimes we don't have balance that day. And you remember my journey, as I always share with you, when I had vertigo symptoms. How can I be a teacher of balance when I have none? Right? And it may come again, right? So find Sukhasana or Padmasana or whatever makes you comfortable today. And just where we started, this time though, not on a block, just rest your hands on your legs. Check in with your posture. Are you feeling a little slumped over today as life got you down? Imaginary string is going to pull you back up nice and tall. Relax, close the eyes, and just take in a few breaths here. Just whatever comes to mind, allow it in. Whatever comes up for you emotionally, energetically. Feel free to stay as you are or inhale, lengthen through the crown. And then exhale, hinge forward, just a nice forward fold. Arms can stay just resting on the legs. You can reach the arms forward if you prefer. And then when you find your deepest extension, just let your head hang heavy. Let the force of gravity, the weight of the skull, just help to lengthen through the posterior chain. And then inhale, utilize the core to lift the body up. And then exhale, hinging your heart toward your right knee, and then just hinging from the hip, coming forward, just breathing, stretching the back left side of the body. Arms are really just a part of the shape rather than being an active member. Inhale, tall, center. Exhale, just a slight shift toward the left knee. Exhale, think about reaching your heart beyond the knee. Notice how this will help your upper glutes, low back, QL region of the mid back. Good. Inhale through center. Find your deepest expression here. Let your head just hang heavy. Now really engage your glutes, protect your low back, dry your navel, and just slowly stack your vertebra one at a time. Head and neck will eventually stack. And once you're upright, inhale, shrug your shoulders. Big breath in, hold at the top of your inhale. And exhale. Full release. Very nice. Blink your eyes to open. Go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. Really nice. And now from here, we're going to take our hands behind us once again. And fingertips facing your booty if you can. And then lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades, and just gaze to the wall behind you, just opening through the heart, through the chest, through the abdominals. Breathe into your wrists, forearm. Good. And then come all the way back to center. And then this time, inhale, circle your arms tall. And then exhale, twisting left. Maybe this time going just a tad bit deeper than when we first started our practice. Now, as you're in your twist and you're maintaining that, can you relax your legs so that your knees go down toward the earth just a bit? Good. Inhale, center. Reach your hands to the sky. And then exhale, twisting to the left. So again, noticing the twist, all the benefits. Let's see if you can soften wherever comes up for you. Maybe your jaw, maybe the face muscles, maybe even the belly. Good. And then come back to center. Now we're going to extend our legs long. I'm going to encourage you to come all the way to the front of your mat with your heels to give yourself plenty of space behind you. Blocks can be in reachable distance. And then just reach your hands forward about shoulder height. And then we're going to roll down. So I really want you to roll and curve through the spine. So starting tall, exhale, heels are glued to the mat, backs of the knees are glued to the mat. And you're just going to come down one vertebra at a time. Breathe and make a little sound effect like I often do when those heels want to leave or do leave. No one's keeping tabs, I promise. Excellent, friends. Hands are still reaching up to the ceiling. When your back is completely on the mat, engage your low belly and then lift your legs up. See if you can hold either the back of your calves, your hamstrings, or even wrap your peace sign fingers around your big toes. Stretching through the hamstrings, the calves, the Achilles, and even up and through the low back. Good. Take a nice wide straddle with the legs and then sway from side to side. Breathe into your inner thighs. Breathe into your hamstrings. And just find a soft, deep inhalation in through the nose and out through the nose. And then come to center. Find happy baby. So bending through the knees. Let your knees come wide and heavy toward the earth. Holding the arches, the ankles, or even your shins. You can sway here side to side. I love happy baby is a great indicator of how you can greet the day. Another posture I am definitely guilty of doing first few moments that I'm awake and the last few moments that I'm awake. It is one of my go-to postures for sure. Wonderful, friends. And then bring your knees together and then hug your nose into your knees and taking in the longest breath of the day, let the shoulders slide down the back and pausing the breath at the top. When you're there, take one more sip of air in and hold. And with a big sigh, extend your limbs long. Feel free to use blocks under your knees. You can cover your eyes with an eye pillow or take any other postures that you may need for today's practice. And distance the shoulders from the ears. Return to your natural breath. As you take rest in Shavasana. My voice will fade out and it'll enter back in just a few moments. Slowing down the breath, breathing in to all areas of life that can be nurtured, that can be healed by the life force pranayama. Breathing into the legs, the arms, the shoulders, your jaw, your heart, the belly. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flame. Right where you are, take a longer inhalation and a slow, deep release. And start to invite some small movements back to your body. The toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. Slowly turn your head from side to side. And then inhale, reach your arms overhead, lengthen, stretch your body. And with a sigh, hug your knees into the chest one last time. Sway your knees, circle the knees, just massage your low back into the earth. And then as you feel ready, joining me in a comfortable seat. Bringing your palms to Anjali Mudra, slight bow of the head. Friends, whatever life throws at us, all the challenges, the twists and turns, who we surround ourselves with, how we spend our time, how we speak to ourselves, all of those elements work together to help us set our life on fire and to help us while others fan the flames. I wish you all a very restful remainder of your Tuesday, and I so look forward to yoga and meditation with you on Thursday. Thank you for letting me guide. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends. Hope you feel rejuvenated, restored. Wonderful job. Take care.